now all your colors are mixed. We're gonna do a complementary palette, but we're gonna use neutrals. So remember that to get a neutral of one color, you're gonna mix the complement, and you don't need a lot of the complement. You just need a little bit of the opposite on the color wheel in order to create that less intense color. So I think for my pair, I'm actually going to choose blue, green, and red, orange. So blue, green's here, red, orange is here. And a reminder that you want to fill your grid with more of the neutral than the intense version. So you're going to create a bunch of different neutral tones, and then you can also create tints, adding white, and then you'll have, this is where people say that thing where they're like, there's just a pop of color, and then you'll add some pops of the intense color. So I'm going to do mostly blue-green with some pops of my red orange. Okay, I'm actually going to mix my palette over here. So I'm going to start by taking some blue green, putting it on this other palette. Grab some white. I'm gonna add a little bit more white. So I've got some tints to work with. Okay, now I'm going to start adding in, I think I'm going to make one more tint actually. I'm going to make one more. Okay, and now you're going to see that I only need the tiniest bit of the complement to shift this into neutral. So I'm going to start with just a little bit like that, just tiniest little bit, put it over here, and I'm going to start adding it in. So it's almost going to turn the blue-green, it's going to turn it almost to like a violet about. Because there's, you know, we're working with red here, it's going to start to tint that blue-green more toward violet. And the more, and it's going to probably end up being like a warm gray green. Okay, so here's some warm gray green. I want a little bit more of this whole color. Okay, so you're gonna mix them first. Make a few different versions of it. And then I'm going to start adding some of that red orange to my tints of the blue green. Again, you can see it's just kind of turning, it's turning a little more gray than that original intense color. I'm gonna see what happens if I add a lot. So the more of the complement you add, the more gray, the more you're gonna move towards gray. So here's my palette here. And then if I add more of the red orange, it might even start tipping over into a reddish color, but I'm gonna keep it right at that gray point there. Oops, sorry. Okay, so now we've got this wide range of neutrals. We're going to put those in, and then we're going to add our pops of color. So you're also, again, still working with value, because you've got these different shades, these different tints. So I always like to think about where my darkest values are going to go. And I move kind of in a triangle. I'll go dink, 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 dink to help keep it balanced. Okay, so at this point, I've got a palette mostly of blue-green neutral, and now I'm going to start adding my red-orange. And I might, as I go through this, I might end up changing some of this if it doesn't feel balanced or even interesting. So now we start adding the complement.